All right, cool. So we're back. Thanks for that promo for our latest sponsor, Ghettoff. So what we have in front of us now, if you notice, things have changed around this table.
It's some refills.
We definitely got some refills. Mine was empty when we left. We good to go now. And we also, was fascinated about the glass play toys, intimate play toys. So we got some on display here. So yeah.
So you all can take a look.
Yeah, and we talk about glass, we talk about impact play. This got a little bit of everything on that thing, man.
A little bit of everything in there. Glass is, for me, it's wonderful because, like I said, it's non-porous, so you don't have to worry about, catching anything, or some people after they play, they don't necessarily clean their toys right afterwards, right? So this is going to be safe. And then also, like I said, you remember back in the day where you used to go get an ice cube for the refrigerator, and you have it in your mouth, and you're kind of working it down the body and stuff, and then it falls to the side, and you gotta pick it back up, and then your mouth is cold, and you're like, wait a minute, and it's going down. Well, what
ice cubes and Altoids.
What we want to present here at Ghettoff is, this is for the grown and sexy, so we don't want to do ice cubes anymore. We have, glass that we can, cool off, and it will take the temperature of, the body and things like that. So it's going to get that cooling feeling down that the ice used to give, right? And also it's going to take to, if you want to warm it up, so you just run it under water, warm water, and it's going to take the temperature and it's going to apply it to the body. So different things that we can do. We stick it in the dishwasher, some people do, yeah. Or you can just sit it up here like it's a pretty piece. Washer safe. Yeah.
There it is. You got to remove these leather pieces though.
Not that one. That's right here. That's a little. That right there is.
That's hand wash. That's hand wash only.
That one right there seems. That one right there.
Yeah, talk about that.
That is a great piece. It's pretty. First of all, let's just start.
I was thinking like octopus tentacles or something. I was like, what's up with that?
So, you have that where, like I said, you can sit it here, or you can apply all the things, but at the same time, you can use it for insertion. And the good thing about it is that, it's going to be able to tell you, your stimulating points on the inside, right? So maybe you like it, a little bit rigid on the top or whatever, because everybody's G-spot is in different places, right? So our bodies change over time. And what you may like when you were 20, now that you are, 40, it's not, it changed, it moves. We have babies, pHs are off, things like that.
Damn near 50.
COVID, all these things. So, so we want to kind of always have a discovery to it, right? And then you have it on this side where you have the other type of feeling, right? So you're gonna, be able to kind of, help yourself to whatever you may like. And like I said, some people, say, well, it's glass, I don't, it's gonna hurt and things like that. No, it's not. As long as you're looking, and also you can put a sleep on it. So if you want to, say, I want to so it's a world of possibilities. And that's what we want to kind of inform people here and Ghettoff, is that different toys, but you can do a whole lot of things with them. Multi-purpose.
Wait a minute. So what about this one right here in the middle?
Well, that one, again, it's iridescent, so it's very pretty.
Yeah, it's pretty as hell.
You can actually use it for insertion or anal play if you want to kind of start it off either end, but you can kind of, just kind of play with it. So, like I said, you can use it all over your body.
So that end could be like the starter end if you're talking about anal play, okay?
Yeah, it can be the starter, and then as you can see, you go down, the bulbs kind of bulge out, so it gives that little kind of ridge. So it's gonna feel what you need to feel with it, as long as you're applying the right lubrication. But it's pretty.
And when it goes in, excuse me, whew,
these drinks.
it gives your body some time to like
adjust.
Kind of hold it and just that.
And you can be able to gauge this. This is a good gauger if you're first starting anal play and you're with your partner. So if you're saying, okay, I can take it to about right here, you know, we can kind of see what we're working at. If that's something that you want to continue, if you like, then we can kind of work our way down, you know. So it gives you the whole ability to kind of work with different sizes. And,
Okay.
I love it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And the smaller one there in the front would be
The small one, it's anal. So it's small, so it hooks a little different because it has the bottom base, so you're able to kind of grip it a little bit differently than that one, of course. But the bolts are different, and it's just for somebody to start, right? So you're testing it out and kind of seeing if this is something that you want to explore, and then you explore a little bit more and get into, you know, a little bit deeper depending on what you like.
Now I've heard some people say, well, that's an exit, not an entrance, and so they kind of shy away from anal sex. What have you heard coming into the shop?
Well, you know what? Most of my clients, you know, I've done parties where people say in the middle of the party, well, we're gonna stop talking about anal, right? So some people
start or stop.
Start.
Oh, okay.
Right?
They're already ready.
They're ready for that conversation, which, you know, I love it and I embrace it, right? Let's go. If you're curious about it, let's go and let's tell you what all the options are. I've gotten people curious about it, but when I've explained, you know, proper things as far as, you know, toys and cleaner and also, you know, lubrication is a big thing because every lube is not made for anal, so you have to be thicker, right? And just kind of giving them the information like I needed. They're more, you know, in tune to say, I'm ready to try it, or I want to try it, I'm open with it. If we know about it, then, you know, we're okay with doing it. And it's not shame with it, or, you know, it's an entrance or whatever. It's just, you know, what your body feels and what you feel and what you may, you know, want to experiment with.
Yeah, talk about the thickness of the lube for anal. Say more about that. Yeah.
The anal lube. So the anal lube, so basic lube is, you know, you have a water play lube, right? Which is, you know, it washes off, right? And so you have silicone, which is for water play. It's thicker, right? So if you're playing in the jacuzzi or somewhere, you know, in the pool, yes, in the shower, so it's a little thicker. Then you have flavor.
Did you tell her about that story?
I did not.
Okay.
I did not, but it made me.
Because both of y'all looking at me like on the pool.
I had a flashback of the pool.
Oh, okay.
We have had, you know, pool experience.
Of course. You have flavored lube, which, you know, if you want to, you know, taste a certain taste, and we, you know, have different selections in here from, you know, the salted caramel or anything, you know, to kind of rouse, keep it going, right? And then you have the anal lube, which, like I said, is specialized for that. It's the thicker to be able to, remember, if you're anal, some people have never been open, right? So you gotta like caress it a little bit. You know, my whole thing with anal play, my whole thing is that I have to, you know, I tell people, or my clients, is that think back to a place where you just felt comfortable and calm. Just get in that zone, right? And for me, I remember I was on an island and I fell asleep on the beach, right? And I woke up and I was like, oh my God, that felt so refreshing. I thought I was there for hours. It's only 20 minutes. It's 20 minutes, right? And I never fall asleep on the beach, right? Because I'm just like, you know, got all my stuff and I don't want anybody. But I was away and I was just like, and I go back to that feeling because I was in my most relaxed state. So, you know, if you are experimenting with anal, you know, go back to a state where you felt, you know, refreshing, calm, and you just, in order for you to embrace this, but don't tense up. Because tense is tensing your muscles, and it's harder to kind of, you know, work through, right? So just reminding people is that, you know, it's great if you're up for it, but also use the right tools, you know, with the anal tools.
It made me think of the comedian.
Earthquake.
Yeah. Relax your muscles.
Breathe. Relax your muscles. Exactly.
You have to.
Exactly. So what's the value in individuals or couples really trying to unpack where they are mentally, emotionally around sex and intimate play, and getting in tune with physical pleasure.
So the impacts, right?
Or the value, impact and value.
Customer. Repeat the question.
Well, what's the impact in people really knowing about and really getting in tune with their bodies, really getting in tune with, the experiences in life that may have created barriers or openings, trauma. Right.
I think about the story I just told where you're at your most relaxed, right? Intimacy is supposed to be joyful, right? It's supposed to, bring you, everything is sitting on the table. I'm vulnerable. It's going to be refreshing and all these other things. And sometimes we can go through trauma that can prohibit us from achieving those, great end results that my friends were talking about before, great sex, is because we've had blockage, right? And blockage can be, trauma that happened, being touched in the wrong way or, molested. And, that's a little bit of my story as well, is that, it was some blockage. And so I had to get in tune with myself in order for me to open up to be able to be the best intimate partner I can be, because you got to remember there's two people there, right? Or how many have in a partner, but you want to be.
It could be more.
It could be more.
It could be more.
It could be a lot more.
And it's a no judgment zone.
Not at
not
all.
at all.
No judgment.
But that's the beauty, is that we're going to try to help you, explore those things that you may want to try, or, that maybe you have blockage, and your blockage can be your family. It could be a whole lot of different things. It could be, 2020, I think we were talking about everything as far as, being a mother and parent and everything else and all this other stuff, and then we get to the end and we tell our mates, I'm too tired. I'm tired for the day.
Right.
And I asked you, I said, why do we trouble through the whole entire day, right? And we say, we put a little bit of tape on, we push through, and we say, okay, kids are whining, we push through PTA meetings, we push through, we get to the grocery store in line, and we push through, we go to the drive-through because everybody's hungry right now, right? Mm-hmm. And why do we get to the end of our base and we just say, I can't?
Right. I'm too tired.
So why don't we push through, right?
Yeah.
And so we shouldn't let that be the last thing or put off, right? Because it's well needed to release from all that other stuff we push through today, right? So, releasing all that trauma and that blockage allows us to be the best intimate partner, or even be ourselves and be vulnerable and open to, explore and try new things, and not just saying, we're going to continue with how things have been going. And I know you guys said you've been married for 23 and a half years. You're not doing the same thing that you did when you first started, right? So over time, you've developed, you've grown, you've added things, take things out, and things like that, and that's a beautiful part of the relationship, right? And so if you have blockage, it's gonna be the same exact thing, because you can't get past that, or whatever that is, right? So we can be able to explore some things, and to be able to talk about some things, to be able to help that.
Good.
Yeah.
So what are some of those barriers that you hear that people are experiencing?
Some people, it's all about, sometimes I've heard body imagery. So, some people, through COVID, like you said, we've all gained a little extra pounds, right? And some people don't feel sexy, right? Some people don't feel like, I want to give it a shot, or I want to kind of do these things after I've done all this long day. Why should I get pampered up for you, or lipstick, or the things that I used to do to go to work, right? I'm just going to be here.
Take me as I am.
Take me as I am, right? And, I'm not going to do the hair. I woke up and I did breakfast, and, I'm supposed to still be sexy, but...
Our friend has a saying, you look like Elmer Fudd, like you're about to go hunting for rabbits, and instead you're not dressed in sexy lingerie. You don't have, you're not prepping for the time that you want to have with your your significant other.
Exactly, and you got to, and also some people have to remember is that it's not just for the significant other, it's for you, because what you look like on the outside is how you're going to feel on the inside. So, you know, putting your hair down, you know, and putting on some makeup or putting on a little lipstick, and you only going to the kitchen, it's okay. I feel good though. I'm gonna make the heck out of these sausages. I'm gonna do my best, right? But it makes me feel that way, and if I feel good, believe it, I'm gonna give it good, right? That's right. And the result, right? It's gonna be a give and take, and you know, partners have to understand is that, you know, we're all working through some things. So I've heard about the, you know, I don't feel sexy, or my partner don't look at me the same, and you know, all these other things that are, you know.
Well, it made me think of how do you take personal responsibility for what's happening also, right? So it's not just on one person, but because we don't feel good inside. I woke up this morning and I don't feel good about, you know, my extra weight, or I don't feel good that my hair couldn't get done today, or whatever it is, those things that I was doing for myself. Now I have to try to appease someone else, you know, or please someone else. If I'm not right, we're not right.
And that's why I say, even if you're not going anywhere, you know, do your hair, go downstairs and act like you're going somewhere, because that's the start of it. You know, you have to, you know, get in a position to prepare for what's getting ready to happen. So in the morning, you're just going to, you know, take your shower like usual, you know, do all your thing like you usual, and go downstairs. And if you just sit there and you're on Zoom, baby, I'm the freshest Zoom person that sits right here. And I may only have my shirt on, or my, you know, but I feel, and I'm going to give you the best. And it's the same thing with intimacy. If I feel somewhat, I'm gonna give you the best.
Yeah, like my man Deion Sanders said. He said, you know, if you look good, you feel good. If you feel good, you play good. If you play good, they pay good. You know what I'm saying? So it starts with you. It starts with how you feel about yourself, you know, how you put into yourself. Again, we all about personal development, and that's where everything starts. From not only your success, but the success of your relationships with intimate relationships, or even familial relationships. It all begins with you. So actually down with that, and especially when, you know, when we think about those barriers, right? We're talking about barriers, and we think about, you know, well, you know, things are different. Okay, cool. So it goes back to being intentional. Like, how intentional are we with keeping ourselves up? Because okay, I'm gonna say this again for the ladies. Guys, we're visual. So ladies, guys are visual. So if you walking around in your flannel shirt and your and with your do-rag on, or your hair done up in the handkerchief and shit, the scarf, and that's your get down, just your regular get down. And so yeah, that's the first thing, is the visual, you know, stimulation that guys get. So ladies, if you want to switch it up, check your visuals. You know,
often, and I remember this as a parent, you know, when we get into, I remember after I had my daughter, you know, and I'd be like, you know, I just need some eggs, right? I just need to go to the grocery store. And I think about it, I'm like, okay, it's gonna take me 45 minutes, you know, to an hour to get ready to go to the grocery store. I gotta get a shower, I gotta get this thing, and the baby sleep. But if I can go up the street for 15 minutes, I'll be right back. And you know, I think about that, and how, you know, I was like, no. Because when I go to the store, first of all, I don't know who I'm going to see, right?
Exactly.
That's right? And in 15, you always see the person that you don't want to see, right? And you just, like, you got to explain, like, look, I just need some eggs, my baby, you know, my baby is going to sleep. And you explain yourself, but you know what? That pampering time visual, like you say, self-care is not just needed for just those eggs to be gotten, right? But, you know, just for you to be able to say, I'm a new mother and I can walk out and I feel like this, but I don't, you know, I'm in the inside like really sleepy, but I look good, want to go get these eggs, right? And I can understand, and some women and parents and mothers, you know, fall into that trap where it's like we're just tired. right? We're tired and we forget about that self-care. And I can remember some of my clients coming in to some of the other places I used to run, and they would come in and say, how does this look? And I was like, where are you going? And they tell me where they're going. I'm like, it looks like this is not it. Like, you know, they're wearing boots and the shoes are wrong, and you're going to a Christmas party? And he's like, yeah, I'm a mother and I just had a baby. I'm like, okay, how old is your baby? And they said, exactly. They said, my baby's 1. I said, so is mine. And they said, so why are you looking? I said, and you're an esthetician. That's not right? So we have to remember, if that means that you got to get up that 1 hour before, you got to put it in, right? And that brings the whole entire day together. And so it's about self-care. Some people don't know, you know, again, going back to your bodies, what does your body need? Your body has transformed from 18, 19, 20, 21, 22,
Right.
on up, right? So self-care, we've changed things, and I think I told one of the clients here, I said, at 18, if you're still using the same lubricant that you used at 18, if you're 40 something, that's a problem. Because your body has gone through so much changes and developments that you have to change with it. We get checked up on, you know, we have a bump, we get checked up. Why don't we think we need a clip check? A tune-up. Why don't we think we need to add some little things too?
I heard that.
Enhance some little things.
I heard that.
Intimacy, it needs a checkup.
I heard that. I remember my mom used to say, like, when you talk about paying attention to things, right? My mom used to be like, you pay attention to that little nail on that little toe, on that little pinky toe, and if she take care of that nail on that pinky toe, everything else is fine. I'm like, oh, okay, all right, because it's a detail, right? It's being thoughtful. It's a detail. It's, you know, if you taking care of that, then more than likely she taking care of other stuff.
Head to toe, take care of.
Yeah, remember Boomerang when he slid that
Oh,
sheet up,
yeah.
looking at those toes? You know, certain things.
That hit me.
But those certain things, women, you know, we need to, you know, always, not just for, you know, our partners, but for ourselves, feel good about those self-needs and self, you know, development, self.
Keep your feet nice, man. You know what I'm saying? Keep your feet nice. You know what I'm saying?
Rob,
Keep it all nice.
Yeah, well, of course, keep it all nice. Keep it all nice. But I'm saying, you know, you busting out with some heels or some sandals, and be like, oh, you know, it's Valentine's weekend. You know what I mean? So it's about springtime, about to hit. You know, when springtime, you know, I'm from the South, so when springtime hit, you see sandals and sundresses, and it's like. Yeah, but if your thing like Boomerang, if your feet jacked up, it's like my man said, dude, get your hoofs tight and get your wig tight. You know what I'm saying? You good to go. But if they ain't,
I'm 100% with
it's the details and the thoughtfulness.
It's the details. You know, keep that extra. You know, I keep some oil that we have in the shop on my door because, you know, you driving it throughout the day. You know, you got the moisture. You gotta keep those. You know, I'll be like, you need some oil on those.
Yeah.
Get them out.
Yeah. Hit that heel. You know.
Yeah.
You know, it just depends on the shoe you got. Right?
Exactly.
That's the extra you gotta check. Before you go, you check like. Good,
That's right. That's right. I love it.
True. This
I love
is true.
it. So, how might physical pleasure or not reaching physical pleasure be connected to childhood trauma?
Well, think about what pleasure is, right? So when you're intimate, you're releasing your feeling, you know, of enjoyment, right? And so if you're not able to release that because of that blockage, think about, you know, and this is crazy, but I think about my baby when she was first born, and I took her home, and she just would not have a number 2. She just wouldn't, and I was like, what is wrong? What's wrong? And I kept taking her back, and it was 2 weeks, and they said no. And I remember I called my mom, and, you know, your mom gives you those good old remedies, right? Like, you know, the baby shouldn't be holding all of that, right? And within 30 seconds of when we doing the remedy, she released, right? So I think about that in transformation of, you know, you're not being able to release because you have blockage. blockage, right? And how, we're not living our best lives. We're just kind of blocked up. So you just kind of doing this thing and just kind of going through the motions, and there's just no connection. It's kind of like that vanilla, same old thing. We're not releasing what we need to release because we're not dealing with what we need to deal with, right? And it could be, childhood trauma from, being molested or being touched in the wrong way. It could be, your partner. It could be that non-communication. It could be the blockage because, we're not communicating about what it is I don't like, but I'm doing it for you, but I really don't like this, right? I think I've seen so many episodes where the lady's just laying there and she's just like, and nothing is right. So are you being your best self? Not really. You're just being there, right? So you just got to stop. You stop up.
Backed up.
Backed up. Okay.
So, I think, and I'll take this from a guy point of view, and just want to ask you this: when we think about, childhood trauma, childhood sexual trauma, oftentimes, because the nature of men, we don't talk about it, right? Because it can be embarrassing. It could trigger a number of things. It doesn't mean it doesn't happen. Right. Matter of fact, statistically, men and women actually get molested and abused about at the same rate. But rarely do you hear guys talk about it. So, but in your business, what situations or what are some examples, or what have you heard from men talking about? These are some of the blockages and barriers that they have experienced and they're having at the time.
Well, I can go back and relate to, one of my clients, and, the blockage had to do with family not accepting who they are, right? And so they're not being their best selves, or they're not actually, physically happy, because the first thing we want is our parents to be happy for us, right? And accept us. And we're all different, and, our sexuality and what we desire and everything else. But, having that was such a blockage in personal, intimate. It placed so much blockage in every single aspect that person just didn't know how to deal with that, right? And it's just kind of, you're just waiting for that. It's like you're waiting for the bomb to kind of go off, right? Because, we want that acceptance, but if we can't get that acceptance, the world means nothing to us, right? And so it stops, that whole intimacy. It's now we're going back to here. It's just, I'm doing it just to be doing it, and it's just coming out, and I'm just like, okay.
So let me clarify then. So are we talking about someone who is LGBTQIA?
Yes.
Or, because I'm actually thinking about just heterosexual man, just straight cisgender
who have had trauma.
Yeah, and who are experiencing these blockages.
I've had some clients where men, again, it goes back to, it's not just if I take that and apply it to LGBT, but let's take it and apply it to like you said, if there's trauma and not being accepted by either, parent, your spouse, your kids, disrespecting everything else, you have trauma, right? And you're kind of not being your best self. You're holding, you're releasing. So, they impact us in all different ways, from all different angles.
Good.
We're around, the good thing about Zoom now is you don't have to be in the office with employees, right? Because, before you go to work, you be like, I got to deal with this person, right? Now there's some, you're not being your best self because you're thinking about, I'm dealing with that person and I have to do this and I have to do that. It could be your boss. It could be a whole lot of different things, that could trigger, it triggers things that's happening. It may not be directly there, but it's triggers, traffic, somebody, I've worked in retail, and I've always used to tell my employees is that, you could be that last person. This person could have been running the Boston Marathon with a friend, and the friend didn't make it, and trafficked and got fired, and lost a relative, and you're that last person that they've seen, and you told them no. right? Or you told them what you can't do. We don't start our conversation with what we can't do. We say, let me try to help you find out what you need, right? Because when you say what I can do, that person just blows up on you right then. And it's really not you. You're mad at all this other trauma that has been going on all day, and just, think about these people that's, when they go into buildings and they're shooting things, right? So it's all that trauma that they're dealt with and taking.
Yeah, and and I think about that, especially being a black man, and you being a black business owner, and us having being black and having our business, and I think about that the black man piece, because something that I talk about all the time is when one of the barriers and one of the things that we deal with as black men on a day-to-day basis is the fact that we have to fight for our masculinity daily, right? And we've been fighting for our masculinity since the 1500s, right? In this country, on this continent, because in order to subjugate us, to oppress us, it has to first come through, you gotta subjugate and oppress and emasculate the protector. Right? So we feel that on a day-to-day basis. It's like, okay, I can't, a black woman is more likely to get this job because I may seem, threatening to folks, right? And so me being 6'1", dark skinned, growing up in the South, I've been this tall since I was in the 8th grade, right? So my mom, used to be fearful, like, hey, listen, do X, Y, and Z to save your life. Right? And so all of these things come into play as you get older, you get an adult, you get a job, you're noticing how people interact with you and engage with you. And then you bring all that back to the home. You bring all that back to your intimate partner. You bring all that back to, oh, you know what? This is something I want to explore. I'm curious about. No, hold on. Let's talk about it, but you know what? There are some things behind the scenes. There's some things underneath all of it that is happening with black men, and so, as a black man, as being on this channel, as being, one half of Curious Couples, as being, having this conversation with intimate play expert, I just want to let people know that, let guys know that, listen, it's okay. It's okay to, hey, check out Neff, come to Ghettoff. If you have questions, let's unpack that. You know what I'm saying? If you have some curiosities, let's unpack that, because it may spark, open the door, bring up some things that help you become your best self.
Exactly. That's what we want to do. You never want to, leave this earth and just kind of saying, well, shoulda, woulda, coulda, or, I didn't get to, be who I really wanted to be. And like you said, it goes back to you self-care, knowing, recognizing, knowing what you need and, what you don't need. And, that examination of your body, that check-in, to kind of, where you need to start. And, those communications when you go home, like we were just talking about, we're too tired at the end. At the end, when we go home and we take all of that frustration, you just said, all of that out of the heart. I don't want to be resentful, and then things escalate from there, right? Because we're curious, right? We're like, what happened? It's right. We were curious, like, what happened? You don't want to talk about it. You want to shut down, right? Right. And so it's that disconnect, So it happens.
Yeah. And I think part of it too, one thing Robert would say, well, I don't want you to have to relive that drama or whatever, and I don't also want to hear about.
I want to hear
that part of your life. I want to hear something else, right? So after having bad days on both ends, how do you come together to have a good day with each other, right? What are the good parts? So Robert has actually changed how he approaches. Instead of asking, well, how'd your day go? He'll ask a different question. It's like, what was the best part of your day? To get it on a different conversation, not thinking about the negative things, but the positive, something positive that came out of your day today. Now let's go from there.
Exactly. Exactly.
Oh, what did you learn about yourself today? Right. That's way different, because, hey, I don't want to hear that, because, she'll be like, how'd your day go? Man, it'll start from the beginning to the end. I'm like, I need to get more skilled at asking questions, because I don't want to hear this shit, right? It don't matter, right? You telling me the day by day, you're not telling me how you interacted with your day. You're not telling me telling me about what happened in the situation, but you're not telling me how you felt in that situation, or how you came out. What do you learn from that situation? What do you learn about yourself in that situation? So I had to switch up my question. So anyway, so I'm glad you said it. Yeah.
The tool that you have to do on yourself when you were thinking about, okay, I'm getting all that other stuff that just is negative, right, in the space that we're trying to create right here, being together with my partner, right? So how do I redirect that question? So that's self-improvement.
Yeah. So we about to wrap up a little bit and close up this session. So what are some questions that we haven't asked that you would want people to know about you or Ghettoff?
Well, Ghettoff is a sexual boutique that specializes in homing in on things that would enhance a relationship, right? New things, exploring things, and just kind of taking it to the next level. Loving, the atmosphere of coming in and what we're trying to do for people, and we just want to help people, to kind of elevate, enhance their sexual interaction. We are, it's Valentine's Day, so of course we want to kind of, help people as much as possible.
Yes.
Starting tomorrow.
Yes.
So, we're open here between 12 and 4.
Nice.
And 6 and 9 for, our customers that work pretty late. And once you can come in and anything is orders is placed before Thursday are guaranteed to hit by Valentine. So
Sweet.
just in time for Sunday, right?
Sweet.
We have our shop open for Friday and Saturday for pickup. So we've thought about things as far as people receiving their items, setting up for that special day, and even people where they're getting their packages taken. It's like, I didn't get my package, right? So we've set up the boutique that Friday and Saturday are pickup days between the 12 and 6, that they can come here, pick up their packages discreetly, and it's curbside pickup, and have a good day, have a great Valentine's Day. So we just want to let people know that we're here. They can visit us on the website if they can't come in at ghettoff.com. So it's GHETTOFF.
And is that how they would set up an appointment with you two through the website?
That is correct. So you can go on there and say, request an appointment, and come in and sit down and talk to me, and we can, figure out some things that will just kind of, quicken up the juices, or just exploring some new things that people, have questions about.
What's your Instagram and Twitter, Facebook? What's all that?
It's Shop Ghettoff, so it's going to be Shop GHETTOFF. So yeah, we're loving.
Nice.
Our upcoming events are going to be on there. We're kicking off with our, customer appreciation, which is going to be, we've already got a date, so April 29th.
April 29th.
Okay, cool. Hey, well, listen. Also, and this is a dope time for us, and a really special time for us, being our first episode, and we, you being our first affiliate. You know what I mean? And what we want to do is encourage couples to stay curious, especially in the bedroom, with their intimacy. And so there is a special code, what I'm saying? So when they go to the website, when they order something from you, use the code Stay Curious.
Yes. For your discount.
Yes.
So yes, we always want to stay curious, so you'll receive your discount. And like I said, and all those things still qualify, but they can pick it up here and have pickup location on site. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
Exciting. Great. And even for us, you can definitely follow us at Diving Within on all platforms: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We have them all.
We have them all. You can hit our website at divingwithin.net. we're open to having sessions, one-on-one sessions, individual sessions, couple sessions. You can definitely hook up with us there. This is Valentine's Day weekend, and it's dope. That's why you see us decked out in my two favorite colors, black and red. You know what I mean? But that's the colors of Ghettoff too. So you know what I'm saying? So it's perfect. It's definitely what do they call it? It's definitely meant to be. The universe is perfect and all that good stuff. So
come here to get off and stimulate yourself.
Yeah, we got all kind of stuff around here.
Yeah,
Stuff behind Emily happening right here.
All kinds of toys you can get into.
Trying to figure out what's happening right here, but that's all good.
That's the next show.
That's next show.
We'll definitely have another podcast to be able to get, to get to know some of the items that are in the store. Boutique, not store. I don't want to call it a store. But the boutique, there are definitely some things that is here for everyone. Whatever you're into or not into, you can come here and check out the store. And Neff will definitely give you some insight as to what these things do and how they play with you and how you play with them and
how you can get off.
And how you get off.
Yeah, and I love it because it is a boutique, right? It is a boutique, right? It's not like some of the spaces, I ain't gonna call no names.
Right.
It's not like some of the places we've been to over the years. And just like you said, you go and people don't have the answers for you. You have questions. You feel embarrassed to ask because of the setting. This is a beautiful setting. It's the ambiance. We got the lights up now, but you turn them. The lights are usually dim. You know what I'm saying? It's a beautiful space, aesthetically and energetically. So
it'll definitely get you in the mood.
Definitely. All right, cool. So thank you.
Appreciate
you.
Yes, we appreciate it.
So So as always, what's your motto at Ghettoff? What do you like to tell folks? What's the connect that people will always connect you with that you want them to know?
We can end with our tagline.
What's your tagline?
Let's toast it. We'll end with the tagline.
Okay.
What's the tagline?
G, enough said.
Enough said.
G, enough said. Okay.
So, and hold on, let me sip on that.
Yeah.
And for us, as always, stay curious.